What's going on, Mike? This is Desmond Clark, former tight end of your Chicago Bears.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Halas Hall Report.
Defense has been playing too good. So I'm going to take the Bears in a rare shootout.
I mean, if that offensive line, we get some help for that one. We in our draft and everything, we need to focus on our offense.
You know, he's going to be on a roll here today. I think he's at least going to have 2 sacks.
Doing it all year long, so if you stop those two guys, who else they got?
Robbie to go. I mean, he took out Aaron for
us.
Go that touchdown, got the 1-play lead with 61 seconds left.
Dalton runs the offense a little better than Fields, as long as the offensive line can somewhat hold up.
Welcome to Halas Hall Report. I am your host, Mike the Bear Fan. My co-host tonight is Ken D, Samantha, Bear Fan Dan, Billy Defense Flores, and Woody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Hey, this is for Sam because her intro, when she was calling out Mr. Robbie Gould for sending someone home.
He's from Penn State. I don't know.
I'd like to first give a shout out to CJ. He's got COVID tonight. He's not on the panel. Hopefully we'll see him next week. Get well soon, buddy.
You better, CJ.
Get well, brother.
Oh, buddy.
But first, I'd like to discuss the man of the game on the Chiefs. Everybody's talking about him. Defensive player of the game, undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin, Jack Sanborn. 7 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 tackle for loss, interceptions, and a pass defense. Personally, I didn't even know about this guy until today. Did anybody know him from Wisconsin?
Fuck
Nope.
no. Anybody from Wisconsin? Hell no.
Isn't that how camp is every year, though? There's some guy that's either undrafted or late drafted or something that comes out of the woodwork. And with Roquan being gone, I mean, that's why this guy got so much more time. I mean, so every year it's a player like that, at least one game. So let's see if he keeps it up for game 2.
Yep, definitely, man.
It definitely brings depth. It's good to see, and I hope Roquan signs. I hope they have an agreement.
Well, I heard Woody's his new manager, so I guess he's got all these people, all these people representing. I heard Woody was the latest.
I told him you better fucking sign before Sanborn takes your goddamn position.
I don't know. I heard you were calling the Ravens and all that, trying to get them out of Chicago.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely. We'll move it over to the offense a little bit for the next one. I thought his catch was great. He's been in the league for a little while. Hopefully, he keeps doing it and plays good. He only caught 2 passes for 44 yards, but, I mean, it was 11 yards per catch. And like I said, that one-handed catch was amazing.
Yep, nice catch.
Yep, nice catch. I mean, considering that the offensive line didn't let us throw the ball too terribly much, him and Mooney, the knock on the Bears have been a wide receiving core, but the 2 catches they both made, because Mooney made a nice catch too, right? So, I mean, the catches they each made show a lot of promise that these guys can go up and get it. Now, the problem is going to be, are we going to have time to throw it?
I watched them warming up and running routes, and mostly they were catching them during warm-up. I sent you guys a few of them, but it was so slow. Like, they were really, really slow on their warm-ups.
I was impressed. Well, go on to the next guy, I guess. I'm impressed with that Ebner. I mean, he's running punts back, kickoffs back, but he had, I think, 96 total yards and 1 touchdown. So I still like Herbert, and I obviously like Montgomery too. So.
Hey, it's nice to have 3.
What's that?
It's nice to have 3 running backs.
Right.
Isn't that the position we find ourselves in every year, though? Weren't we 3 deep last year? We were always 3 deep. Yeah.
Definitely.
But nice. I mean, hopefully we can keep finding, more and more of these people that we didn't know that was going to shine.
Definitely. Yeah, I believe Woody stepped it up and talked about Ebner. I was going to talk about him too. That opening kickoff, like he said, was great, But I don't know who Tuggle is, but he had a little spurt, but it's hard to tell when the offensive line is, I'm sorry, terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well, I mean,
it gets better.
look at Fields. 3 series, 5 hits, 2 sacks, a couple nice throws. He made a nice little run. We know he can do that. The offensive line, they didn't rotate those guys out. I mean, most of the starters played most of the game. It's the only position these guys in the preseason play a lot. I mean, they did a lot of rotation, but you still saw starters in the second, third, fourth quarter. The old line, well, it sucked. It was almost as bad as the field, and the field was horrendous. It was disgusting. It was an embarrassment to Chicago the way the field looked after warm up, right? But the old line, it's going to take them a couple games to kind of. That was their first game they played together as a line. And I'm sure we'll get into Jenkins later because now he's cracking the starting lineup, like we talked some last week. But the offensive line is going to take a couple real live games to kind of come together. That's why I hate this 3-game preseason. I wish it'd go back to 4 because really it's the old line that needs that extra game.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Greg Rice says, what about Daz Newsome? Not really sure, Greg. I feel like he's got to step it up because other people is going to step it up and he's going to lose his spot just like Riley Ridley did last year. I had high hopes for that kid, and he didn't turn out good at all.
No. That was your boy, Ridley.
Man, I got so much stuff for Ridley.
I know. And there was some rumors that him coming to the Bears this year, too. I was like, nah, he gambled. See ya.
Definitely. But, yeah, the quarterbacks, Seaman, he didn't do too bad. He threw 2 touchdowns, only threw for 89 yards, 7 for 13. But what I liked about overall is no interceptions from anybody.
Actually, I thought Seaman did really well moving the ball, moving the offense. Peterman did well too, but I mean, I'm fairly confident with our backup quarterback situation from what we saw in this. I mean, of course, you're talking backups to backups, but I mean, they both did really well against the other, against KC's backups.
Yeah, the little bit that I saw that was on there, it actually looked like he did throw some nice passes. It was like, ooh, that was a nice touch pass into that corner over there, So that looked pretty nice.
Good decision making, right?
Yep.
Nice to see that for once.
Yeah, we got a Facebook user who says Fields going through his reads way too fast, then panics. Well, almost any quarterback's gonna behind that offensive line. Just saying.
Look, it's almost like the Jay Cutler day, right? Remember when Mike Martz when the 7-drop offense, and Jay Cutler would be on step 2.5 and be getting whacked. I mean, if I'm him and I know my offensive line is going to give me not even 3 seconds, damn straight I'm going boom, 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 gone.
Definitely try to get that quick receiver real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to tell where they're going, though, and that's not good.
Yeah,
they're
What do you mean?
The way Kansas City just ran over us on that first drive, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's gonna be a long fucking season, man. And I knew it was gonna be long anyway. Say my prediction. Okay.
I remember. I still got the over.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm sticking with 6.
That's over him.
That's over me. Yep.
If you think,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say, first preseason game, all new coaching staff, all new system on both sides. Some of the starters didn't play, right? We didn't see Montgomery. We didn't see obviously Roquan. So we had some guys who weren't playing. The first series, Mahomes ran over them, but I kind of expected that, to be honest with you. The defense, you could see what they were doing. They the defense system, you could see the system take more shape as the game went on. I think as we get into game 2 and 3 in the preseason, and guys are starting to get more comfortable with the new defensive scheme, the new offensive scheme, we're going to start seeing improvement. And the offense is all about the offensive line, but the defense, they got a whole scheme to kind of get used to now. I mean, there were still some highlights in that defense throughout the game, and you can tell some of them are really clicking the scheme, and some of them are still having some problems.
Well, yeah, it was like the play calling too. This one play that I think it was like 3rd and 6. They did a draw. You can't do a draw with that offensive line at 3rd and 6, let alone 3rd and 2 and shit like that. Can't do that. I was like, here we go again with the play calling now. And I know it's a new coaching staff and shit like that, but can't do that stuff. I know it's practice games, but can't do it.
Got a Facebook user. He says, so does the Bears have enough to keep the Lions in the basement? Well,
Of course.
the Lions will always be in the basement until they get out of the basement.
Anything's possible.
He says, I got you with 4 wins if Quan is gone. Well, Quan
2 if Quan is gone.
Right.
Well,
Quan is still under contract. I believe he's going to play. I believe he will play.
The interesting news is that with all this shit going on with his contract and stuff, he is flying to Seattle tomorrow. That was maybe.
Yeah, he's going to the game with the team.
Yeah, he's just not playing.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is with Roquan, what's changed from last week to this week, right? The big change was the whole representation story that broke about this guy's done it before, but not as an agent, just as a consultant. But now that's dirtied the water for any trade talks because now it's tampering. Secondly, like we said last week, the Bears have him under contract. Third, we were talking the money. Well, if they franchise him next year, it's $18 million. So that should pretty much tell you that's what the Bears are probably at. I don't think they've yet to release what the Bears offer was, but if franchise tags at $18 million next year, then they probably were already in that ballpark. So we're talking the Bears are probably in that 18 to 19 mil ballpark, and Quan is at the 22, which everyone in the league thinks is ludicrous, right? So eventually, at $40,000 a day fines if he's not practicing, he's going to come back, and he's going to, he'll come to his senses because he did some things right in a way, but then all these other things that have transpired since last week when we were on have made it so he's untradeable. Like no one can trade for him because this guy went out and tried to drum up interest. So now if those teams are interested, they're going to get slapped with tampering.
I really don't understand the not having an agent thing when you're like worth that much money, and I just don't get it.
There's a good article, Sam. I saw it 2 or 3 days ago. It's on CBS or ESPN. There are a lot of big name players. Lamar Jackson, no agent. For instance, there are a lot of big name players who go without an agent because NFLPA, what they'll do is they provide services to these guys to help them negotiate. And so if you think about it, if you're Roquan, and let's just say $20 million a year, well, in that 3 or 5%, whatever that cut is for an agent, that's substantial money. That's in his back pocket now. So it's kind of like if I did sell house by owner, that's 3% I'm saving on the commission.
You're not
right?
saving it though because we get more money.
Yeah, but I'm not paying both agents. I can take half the commission.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to get as many buyers and not sell it as high. It's been proven statistically time and time again. It's the same philosophy in that situation.
Yeah, I know. But Sam, apples and oranges on the price piece. Apples and oranges on the price piece. Roquan's going to get his money, right? But he doesn't have to pay an agent. So so
he can go longer than by holding out on practices.
But by not having an agent, he totally just fucked up this possible trade thing. So I mean, your point is
he did that by having it. No, he didn't. No, it is valid because where it got messed up, the guy's not his agent, not an NFL, not a licensed agent. And so by his consultant going out to teams to drum up support, that hurt. Now, if that guy hadn't done that and the Bears said, okay, fine the trade, Roquan could have called any team he wanted to drum up support.
But had he had an agent, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, he might. There you go. A consultant wouldn't have made the mistake. But it's not to say. But look, if Roquan gets the same amount of money that he would have gotten with an agent, he saves himself millions. And there are a lot of big name NFL players, believe it or not, who are without agents. And the NFLPA gives these guys a ton of resources to negotiate their deals and services. Or the guy who did screw up with Roquan, he's actually done some in the past, like I think with Dak Prescott, where what he does is he serves as a mentor, if you will, and goes over the contracts with Dak or whoever for a small fee, and helps him negotiate. But he's not the agent. It's more of a consultant than an agent. So there are a lot of players that go without it. But look at the fact that agent or no agent is the contract and the franchise tags are there. So, and the Bears really have no reason to move him.
Agreed. Greg Rice, he says Brisker looked great, no lie. I believe he's going to be the defensive player of the year. What do you think on that, Billy?
I didn't see much of the game, but I did catch a little bit about him, and I was excited when we got him. And let's just hopefully he keeps playing the way he's playing, man. I mean, let's see if it just wasn't just that just the first game, like you said. Let's see him some more. But I like it. I like the stuff that I heard about him. Kind of stuff that I seen on the news about him. So
he did have 3 tackles for 1 assist.
He looked comfortable from the stuff that I saw.
Definitely, and I feel like that's going to help out Eddie Jackson this year. Hopefully, we get Eddie Jackson back to what he was.
I agree. And you know what? Jackson did look better. He did look a little better in that game than we saw last year.
He's got some help.
What are you going to do with 8 wins? Well, for one, it's more than what Woody said. And again, it'd be better because it'd be better than last year.
That's way over
a lot of key players.
This guy's way over mine.
Roquan wants to play for a winning team, not a rigged team.
Must be a Packers fan. That's all I got to say about that.
It's
I
probably
think it's fair.
Giff or Dorn. Agent only gets 10 to 15%. Agreed.
I agree.
I don't think Roquan's going to get more money just because he has an agent, though.
But he could take 15% less because he don't have to pay for the agent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Roquan's like a guy like Roquan or like Lamar Jackson. They're going to get that big money regardless. They don't need the agent. Now, the problem they get is like with Roquan, his ego is bigger than what he might be worth. But Lamar just signed a massive deal, and he was going to get that dollar point regardless of having an agent or not. So that's 10, 15% in his pocket. Even if he gets 5% less of a contract, he's still saving on the percentage that he'd have to pay the agent. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. For these bigger players, they make more money that way. It's different than selling a house, Sam, but I was using it as an example.
I need you to teach me, Ken. Keep your mansplaining opinion to yourself.
I'm not mansplaining shit to you, Sam.
Yes, you are.
I was trying to put in terms that were more. I know it's like, man.
No,
it wasn't mansplaining, Sam.
Okay.
Let's not talk about.
Oh, you can understand, Sam. I know.
You get into an argument.
No shit.
Greg Rice says the purpose of an agent is to max out your 15% is nothing to give up. And also don't forget that doing stuff legally and not illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, Roquan might be a bad example, but Lamar is a better one.
You know who else is a good example is everybody who got good deals with their agents.
Definitely.
Start looking at some of the big contracts. You're going to be surprised at how many don't have an agent.
Not the overwhelming
I was
majority.
shocked.
It's a minority for a reason.
Top 100 players.
I mean, I'm talking some of the biggest contracts out there are player negotiated. I was shocked by it when I read the article. I was like, are you kidding me? Because, Sam, I kind of had the same mentality you did until I read this article. And I was like,
but it's
you're
not the
kidding
majority,
me, right?
though. It's still a minority. Just because there are a few who break the mold who do well doesn't mean that everyone should ditch their agent and do it.
It's the bigger players like your Roquans, like Lamar Jacksons, those type of guys. They don't need the agent. They're big enough where they're going to get that top dollar regardless. Now, Brisker, yeah, I'd have an agent, right? But some of these guys, like Aaron Rodgers, does not need an agent. He knows he's going to get that top dollar. Some of those guys are in that kind of position where they don't need it, and they don't do it. Now, the other players, the majority of the other players who aren't in that position, for sure they have the agent. But some of these big guys like that, they don't need it. Aaron Donald does not need an agent.
I think Aaron Rodgers has an agent, though.
He does. He doesn't need it, but he does.
But you don't know that. I mean.
Hey, you guys just want to have a face off here? I'll leave. That's fucking okay. I'll leave. You guys
chime in then.
Yeah, no. This is good. This is fun. This is great.
Greg Rice says 8 wins would be an achievement. Yeah, and it'd keep the Lions in the basement.
Yeah.
That's 2 more than I'm taking.
Yeah.
I'm in that 6 to 9 range.
6, 7.
Yeah.
I'm with
Cinco.
7 to 9. Woody's got that good old fiber in there.
Cinco.
Jack Sanborn needs to play for the Wisconsin Badgers, my home state. Facebook user, who are you, by the way? Is it GIF?
It's probably Bill.
GIF.
Yeah, it's probably GIF.
No, Bill would actually put his name across the board.
I don't want to mess with GIF. He knows it all, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want no part of it.
He knows those great parking lots in Dallas on that vacation, right?
Right. It brings depth to our defensive line. I thought he did all right. He had 2 tackles, 2 sacks. Trevon Cooley. Do you guys actually think that he'll bring depth and a good rotational player to the Bears?
Well, of course. We need depth. Plain and simple. Somebody, and I hate to say it because I don't wish an injury on anybody. I don't wish, somebody's going to get injured on that defensive line. Just look at the past couple of years.
Hopefully nobody.
Yeah, I know.
He got hurt last week. I couldn't see. I saw someone down on the sideline with people around him for a long time, and then I forgot to pay attention again. Hey, Mike. Not you, the other Mike.
I mean, the problem is,
does anybody know?
I saw it too. He's out for the season.
Oh, you're talking about the center, the rookie center.
Yeah, the rookie center. He's out for the season.
He's out for the year, yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard because it's one preseason game. My God, some of the people, oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl because we beat the Chiefs in the preseason. No, it's one preseason game.
Who the fuck said that?
Oh, there are a couple homers out there, saying the shit.
Jesus. Not Billy Flores.
No, Bear Mysterio said we're going 17-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really hard on one preseason game on second and third stringers to see. Yeah, okay, you had 2 tackles or whatnot, and a sack against a third string. Great. I mean, yeah, I suppose your depth, but let's see how you do against the better competition the following week. I mean, it's as the rosters get smaller, it gets a little bit maybe I don't want to say easier, but maybe a little bit better to judge this talent. Because how many did we cut this week? 10, 15, something like that was this week's cut. So as we start weeding out those guys who aren't going to make a roster, because some of these guys get these stats because they're beating up guys who got cut last week, right? I mean, they beat up guys who were cut 2 days after the game. So as they start playing against guys who are sticking, I think that's going to be a better judge of the quality of these guys for backup roles, rotational roles. And as more of the starters keep playing and they intermix with them.
Well,
I mean, I hate preseason.
They better pick the best players then. They better not cut them.
Well, we saw what happened last year, right, Woody, with our defensive backs in the COVID game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always hit or miss, but I mean, I would say in the majority they get it right. You hope they do.
I like Thompson. He played pretty good for us filling in.
CJ says, I want to see what Cooley is going to do on the game against the Seattle. Consistency is the key. Definitely is. Steve Pills is the Facebook user. Well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. We got a game against the Seahawks tomorrow.
Here's my question with that about tomorrow's game. Is Drew Lock playing or does he have COVID? I'm hearing
COVID.
Or no, he's questionable.
But he said
I
he
heard
had
COVID. Yeah, I heard he's out for COVID. I guess him and CJ were grabbing beers as CJ was getting a scout report, and they both ended up with COVID.
So we're saying Geno Smith is going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the word. Hey, at least their field will probably look better than ours did.
Holy shit!
Man,
Do you think they're leaving
Ken,
ours
it was
like that on
terrible.
purpose?
Yeah, because they don't want to stay in Chicago. They
Yeah.
didn't take the agreement, and they're
I
just.
think they're doing it because of the arguments of all that stuff, like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And they're trying to court the Jags to move to Chicago because Khan, who owns them, is from Chicago. So they're trying to make it the Chicago Jaguars and trying to say the Bears can't be Chicago, that they're going to have to be the Arlington Heights Bears. Lori Lightfoot's an idiot. I mean, just look at – I mean, the field was horrendous. And it wasn't embarrassing to the Bears, but to the city. Like, the Bears just turned around and said, that was a city park district. That had nothing to do with us. And then the city looks like crap again, like it needs any help looking like crap lately with everything else that's going on.
It makes them less desirable for someone to want to go there because if you're going to, leave your facilities like that, why does anybody want to go there? It's a good way to injure your people for no good reason.
I was literally about to say, like, injuries. Like, they got to be smart about it, I know they want us to stay and everything else, but don't injure people for that,
Well, it's just like in Philly here with the Vet. Back then in the 90s, 80s and 90s, they had the worst field in the league. Yeah. I was at the game. I don't know if any of you remember this because you guys are young. I was sitting up top, and I was looking down a long pass. Wendell Davis blew both his knees out. Done. I was at that game, and it was because of the turf.
Well, I mean, the Bears, we've always had – I think we've been the worst playing surface in the league for about the last decade. But last week was the most horrendous thing, I think. I mean, we see high school football fields that look better than that. And the thing is, like, if I'm you got to figure this is how the Bears free agency works. Billy's coming in. He's a free agent. Hey, man, let me show you our facility. And Lake Forest is gorgeous, right? World class, everything. They say, well, what about – we're not going to take you to Soldier. Don't worry about that. I guarantee you, when they bring in a free agent, they do everything they can to avoid taking the Soldier Field because Lake Forest is world class, but Soldier Field is the worst playing surface in the entire NFL. It's been that way for decades. It was just a new low, if you can imagine that, last weekend. And now, of course, they're saying they're going to re-sod it.
We got a Facebook.
It's just like the streets out in Chicago. All them potholes, man. We just got to make sure our field matches the streets.
Hey, it's not just Chicago. Rockford.
We don't even want to talk about potholes. Pennsylvania is the fucking worst. I'll tell you that right now. No. Wow.
I believe Steve has a question. He said, will center Patrick be back before week 1?
That's the rookie who just got hurt, right? Wait, no.
That's the one coming from Green Bay.
Oh, Luke Getzky. Getzky's the one that came from Green Bay.
No, the lineman, Patrick. Will center Patrick be back for week 1, our center? The center we got from Green Bay. I haven't looked up the report or how long, but I think he is by week 1 or 3, I think. Do you know, Ken?
Right now their backup plan's got to be Cody Whitehair again. So anyway, to be honest, even if it is Cody Whitehair, I don't think he did a terrible job as a center. So I haven't seen the injury report, but if Cody Whitehair is the backup plan, I'm comfortable with that. I mean, it sucks because, again, Whitehair's not where we need him, but he's serviceable.
And they said they're going to try work out Jenkins at guard now.
Yeah. He's getting reps with the first team.
I'm reading that Patrick had a broken thumb and is going to need surgery on it. So
didn't he have surgery or no? I thought he did.
I don't know.
Well,
They
depending
expect
which
him
thumb
to
it
be
is.
back before the season opener, though. So he probably already had it, and they're expecting him to be back.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Greg Rice says
And
Soldier Field's the smallest field attendance wise. Field looks smooth.
Oh, that's some
That's what
old
they wanna
news.
do.
Yeah, it's old. Sorry.
I mean, that was the whole reason they did the spaceship was to give them the remember the original Soldier Field. We didn't have skyboxes, right? That's why we did the spaceship thing, and it increased. I think actually did increase it, but then we got the skyboxes. Well, now it's still just They should have done that much better. The year we played at U of I. Oh, God, that was terrible.
What the terrible is those new seats in Chicago, because man, they're steep as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't even sit in the 400 section because I get vertigo just going up there. It freaks me out.
Never been up there.
So you don't want to go skydiving?
Never been up there.
It's super
It's
steep.
steep. Like I'm a roofer, I'm not scared of heights, but I felt like I was on the side of a cliff. Like
I actually
Yeah, if you go up
I
there
actually
drunk
put in
and you
mostly
start
all
to
those
feel like you're
seats. I
gonna fall
remember being
down.
all the way up there. I do remember being like if you fall, you're gonna go all the way down.
Yeah, that's what it's
yeah,
like.
it's gonna hurt.
Bank of America Field is like that in Carolina. I went to a Bears game there, and I think we were the second row from the top, and it just felt like if you leaned too far forward, you're falling all the way to the field from up there.
Mm-mm.
That's
100
like
level. That's where I gotta be.
the what do they call it now? Guaranteed Rate Stadium. I remember before they tore down some of the upper level of how steep it was.
Oh yeah, the blue up there. I
Like,
remember there, and I was up there.
Oh, I bet it was up there.
And I don't call it that. It's Comiskey, dude. It'll always be Comiskey.
Well, yeah,
Last night.
Definitely. CJ said he will be back before then. I'm pretty sure he's talking about Patrick.
Yeah, that surgery was in July or early August. So
That's what I thought. But I didn't hear no info on how it went or anything. Normally I hear something on it. I didn't hear anything. Unless I just missed it from work.
maybe.
So here's my question: do you guys think we're done with trying to sign some free agents? And if we are going to sign free agents, what positions do you think they're going to sign?
Receiver.
I'd wait till next year.
They're gonna. I think they'll try to go for.
They still need I'm thinking they still need a tall receiver that can go up and get the ball. I know Mooney can, but we need like a Alshon Jeffrey or Brandon Marshall that goes up and gets that ball.
We're not getting that.
I'm just saying. I wish.
Not this year.
No,
Maybe next year when we have money.
That's what I said. Next year when we have the money. Yeah.
Yep. I agree, but if they do, like you guys said, I believe it'll be a wide receiver. But it's not going to be like a huge impact player, I don't think. It's going to be someone we're praying pans out.
Well, okay. Why? Because Ridley's coming back next year?
No, we should have tried out. Should have been a walk-on.
I mean, Odell's still technically a free agent, even though he won't be back till October. And odds are he goes to the Rams. AB is out there, but no one wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole, even though he's super talented. And then after that, there's really not much out there I can think of.
I think Julio Jones signed only for a year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's all he's going to do is a year.
Yeah, that's it. He's done.
Well, we got another Facebook user. It's probably Pills again. I believe that's his last name. He said, here's the thing with me. Your field is pretty brutal, but for fuck's sakes, I hope you guys don't end up playing indoors that I've heard. Football outdoors and the elements is the way to fly, especially the Bears coming from the Windy City. But
I get it, but come on, everybody's moving to covered fields, domes and stuff because of, you want to have a Super Bowl in your stadium at some point, so you have to do it.
Yeah,
I think they'll do a SoFi like
delays. There won't be any delays because it's in a dome. But if they do it, I hope it opens up. Not that it really matters because it's going to be closed because it's cold.
Doesn't SoFi open up, right? SoFi opens up, doesn't it?
But do they ever open it during bad weather?
No, they don't. But I think if we do a SoFi kind of thing, I think we leave it open unless it's a Super Bowl. Even if it was December and snowing, I don't think they'd close that roof just because it's Chicago. I think the roof is there more for a Super Bowl or concerts in February. But
I don't think so. Doesn't the Colts open too?
No.
No,
It doesn't.
no, but it opens on the sides.
But they don't
because
open
I've
it
been
during like snow and stuff. They close it.
I've been to Lucas, and it was a cold night, and they had the sides open, but the top
I never
doesn't
been there
open, but
when
the
it was
sides
open. I
do.
didn't know it opened.
Yeah, the sides open.
Hmm.
The one side it all opens up on the one side.
Yeah, but you got to play in the snow. Chicago has to play in the snow. Keep
Yeah.
the roof open.
Yeah, but for us fans, I'm tired of freezing my ass off, especially.
Come on
So
now.
you're right, Billy.
Yeah,
December.
but there's a ton of other things that go into it. Like, it's not just play in the snow. Like, then they got to get snow people out to clear all the seats and the walkways and not have people fall. Like, I'm sure it changes insurance to have it open versus closed when there's bad weather.
But sometimes that benefits us because the dome people will come to us, and I'm sorry, they're not going to play good in the cold.
I agree with that, but I'm talking like business perception. Like, it's easier for them to just close it and not deal with staff to get out there and shovel, steps and walkways and salt it and make sure that all these people coming in and out of the building are not going to fall. I mean, just all that stupid logistics stuff.
And then the beers, they'll be making more money on the alcohol because it's kind of hard to drink that fucking beer and it's frozen by the time it's halfway down.
Yeah, well, they were passing it out in hot chocolate warmers at this one game I was at a long time ago.
You know what's interesting with some of these new stadiums, like in Germany, the one they're going to play the game at Munich, it's an open air stadium, but the open air is only over the field. So when it snows, rains, whatever, the fans. I was at a Bayern Munich game in the rain.
Oh,
the field was getting drenched. The players were getting soaked. The fans were dry because of the way they do the roof system. So you can be open air and still be protected against ice, snow, and whatnot. And I think the Bears, and like some other teams, they'll open the dome or open the roof or close it depending on what kind of team they have built. If you're a speed team, you're keeping it closed. So because the cold weather makes you slow, right? Isn't that how the saying goes? So if you're a speed team, they probably would keep it closed because that would benefit them. But if they're a old school knock you in the teeth football team that pounds on the ground a lot, if they're built that way, then it would behoove them to open up the dome and have the elements there. So I mean, I think part of it, and these teams play it, they all do. It depends on the type of team you have. It's like baseball teams. If they got a fast team, they cut the grass short, right? If they got a slow team, or the other way around, if they got a slow team, the grass is short. If they got a fast team, they leave the grass long, right? Or whatever, however it goes. I mean, I think that the teams play that same game depending on how they're built, speed-wise and skill-wise. If it benefits them to be in the elements, they leave it open.
Well, yeah, you think that if they're going to play, a warm weather team and it was snowing, that they'd open it and say, screw you guys, be cold.
Well, just like when the 49ers came, what was that, Colin Kaepernick? That one game, we shut them down. He had they had 9 yards total offense. And they
whenever Vic came in December, same thing.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna let you guys go. Bear down.
Bear down, brother.
Billy,
Bye, Billy.
He jumped off, but yeah, I was gonna do predictions next for tomorrow night's game. I know it's only preseason. We'll start with Dan. What do you think the prediction of tomorrow night's game is going to be?
2014 Bears.
2014 Bears. Samantha?
Oh, I wasn't ready. 17-14 Bears.
That's actually pretty close to what I was going to say. I was going to say 17-13 Bears. Woody?
20-17, and you know my end route.
Always that last second field goal, huh?
And toast, baby. Yep.
When are you going to give up on that?
No.
His percentages keep getting lower and lower and lower because that's what he chooses. What do you think, Ben?
I'll go 23-17. Or 24-17. 24-17. I'm wearing the 23 today, but I'll go 24-17.
24-17.
10.
You like Seattle?
No, Chicago Bears. not going Seattle. They got more issues than we do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But they
My
gave Steelers a good run last week in that preseason game.
Hey, the only thing I took out of week 1 of preseason is the 49ers beat Green Bay again.
Yeah.
Whoa, Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing, man.
It doesn't matter. Whenever the 49ers play Green Bay, that should be the outcome.
Come on. Jesus Christ.
So,
In
Mike,
my-
are you sticking with 17-13 then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Why, are you switching yours?
No.
Now she's ready.
She ready. But I have one more question for tonight. For tomorrow's game, who do you think is going to be the impact player of the game? Will it be defensive side, offensive side? What player do you think?
I'm going Santos for the win.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Took the words right out of Woody's mouth.
Fuck yeah, literally. Right out of lipstick. You see the lipstick came right out.
Who do you think, Dan?
You know what? I like that Sanborn. They're supposed to be moving them with the second string in that. So see what they do in the game tomorrow.
I'm hoping he does, for sure. But, Ken, who do you think?
I'm not going with a player, but I'm going with the O-line.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because I think if Tevin Jenkins starting another week of solidification, I think they're going to make the offense. This is good and it's bad. It's going to make the offensive look good, but it's going to swell too many Bears fans going, oh, look, we're good now. But I think the O-line will take its first big step of the season.
What?
They have to.
Hopefully forward and not a full start.
I think
Yeah,
we all know that our O-line is not good.
No.
They can get
ESPN says we're the top third, but
Top third.
yeah,
In Chicago?
they said no. They said Chicago, right? They think we're a top. They think we're a top third O line. Look at the talent individual. Like if you look at the individuals, we look like a really good on paper, but until they can play together and know their right and left battle buddies, so to speak, then they're not going to be good. It's like, it's not like. It's one of those things like they have to learn each other, and they obviously have not learned each other yet. So as they learn each other and each other's strengths and weaknesses to work as a team better on that line, they could, by the end of the season, fulfill that prophecy. But they have to start gelling together, or this team is going to be at Woody's prediction by the end of the year. They have to. So they have to be that position that takes the step forward.
That's the smartest thing you said tonight, man. I'm telling you.
And if they do step it up, my person's going to be Tristan Ebner. Hopefully he gets a couple more carries and actually see what he can do a little more to back up Herbert and Montgomery.
Is Montgomery going to play tomorrow?
I don't think so. I don't know 100%. Like I got off work kind of late tonight.
He's probably
Who's our injury report guy?
He's
Woody?
probably
That's Woody.
fired. Yeah.
I hired
I'm not
Woody.
ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Facebook user, I didn't say top third. ESPN did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're bottom third as we stand today.
And it's probably Trent Dilfer that fucking said that too.
Yeah, probably.
All right,
All right.
guys. I got to get kids to bed.
All right, have a good night, Samantha. See you next
Have a
week.
good night,
guys.
Sam.
See ya.
Anybody have anything else to say before we end this tonight?
Well, I'm going to give mine. I like Mike, I'm going to do yours with Ebner. Hopefully he steps it up, keeps it going. But like I said, I like to see Sharp get involved the way he did last week with those catches. Get him involved even more tomorrow and see what he can do.
Hopefully it opened up some eyes for some offensive, schemes so he can actually get the ball more, like you said, for sure.
Yep.
And Woody, the one thing I'm along that same line, I'm interested in seeing. We didn't see much of it. We saw the fullback once or twice last week. I want to see him utilize. If they're going to utilize the fullback, I want to see more of that and see more of what we're going to do with the tight ends, because we really didn't do much with tight ends, even blocking wise last week. Right? We didn't see many formations, so I think that helps out the O line too. So I want to see more of what we're going to do, tight end wise. Fullback wise, because this whole thing like Matt Nagy last year, wait till week 1 to show something, it doesn't work, especially like this a brand new offense. We got to, even though we don't want to show what we're going to kind of do, we almost have to, right? Because then we can't expect them week 1 to be doing stuff they haven't done the entire preseason. So I want to see more tight end, more fullback, and I want to see more of the ball going to like multiple receivers,
Right.
Ebner, Mooney, and I want to see him. And the one thing we didn't say it all, but if you think about it, the 2 best catches last week were what? Plus 10, plus 15 yards, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I like seeing that we're stretching the field past the 5-yard mark. So more of that would be nice to see too. Maybe use Mooney to stretch the field, and some of these other guys. So,
well,
Right.
play like I said, play calling, and this is the start of the season. Play calling's got to be a big thing. We can't go back to we did the last couple of years with like last week with that 3rd and 6 draw play. You can't do that with that offensive line. And
no, you can't.
Justin Fields has got to stop favoring Mooney. He's got to throw I think Kmet has to have a big year, and I think he will. Somebody's got to knock Fields in his head and says, hey, you got to get Kmet involved because I think he's going to be a stud this year, Kmet.
Did Kmet did he even play last week?
No, I don't think so.
I,
They did spread the ball to 10 different receivers. I know it's preseason. They get rotational, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's good to see almost everybody get a catch.
Correct.
Yeah, and they need to do a little bit more of that with the first offense. The first team offense didn't do much. That was most of that second and third team stuff. So, with first team, I mean, they got to spread it out more, and
they got to put. I would like to see that Fink though run back some punt returns more and then kickoffs too.
But it's tough.
Well, what do you think of our new punter?
He's no O'Donnell.
He put what 3 within the 5-yard line?
Well,
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Keep that stat up. Keep that.
Yeah, I mean, I was
that's a stat we don't want to keep up, really.
No, the punts. No, but his punts were all. He did not have a single bad punt.
I do not want to lead the league in third and outs again. I really don't. I don't want to do it. You can't.
Yeah, and Woody, I know what you're. And Woody, I agree with you on that draw play, but you got to figure, why he ran it, right? He ran to see what the offensive line was capable of. That's all.
Bench him because it sucked.
Yeah. It sucked. But I mean,
a 3rd and 6 draw play and they fucking lose 2 yards. Come on, can't do it.
Yeah,
can't do it.
Right. And for everybody watching, here in a couple weeks, we'll start opening it up to open mic on Wednesday night. We'll start Sunday's show closer to the season, probably just before week 1.
And I'll be in St. Lucia that day too. Week 1, I'll be in St. Lucia.
Are you gonna be broadcasting from the beach?
Absolutely, like I did. 2 years ago, I was in Los Angeles.
We'll be broadcasting in Green Bay when the Bears go to Green Bay.
Yep.
The Atlanta game, I might be broadcasting from a cruise ship. We'll see.
Cruise ship. Make sure you stand at the bow.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys coming on. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Until then, bear down, and thanks for tuning in.
Bear down.
Bear down.
What's going on, Mike? This is Desmond Clark, former tight end of your Chicago Bears.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Halas Hall Report.
Defense has been playing too good. So I'm going to take the Bears in a rare shootout.
I mean, if that offensive line, we get some help for that one. In our draft and everything, we need to focus on our offense.
He's going to be on a roll here today. I think he's at least going to have 2 sacks.
Doing it all year long, so if you stop those 2 guys, who else they got?
Robbie to go. I mean, he took out Aaron.
Good touchdown, got the 1-play lead with 61 seconds left.
Dalton runs the offense a little better than Fields, as long as the offensive line can somewhat hold up.